Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where I have no memory of this place. I mean, I remember this campaign, obviously. I just played it yesterday. But I have no memory of this war. What's going on here? Bata. Oh, right! These guys rebelling! Okay, yeah, I completely forgot about this. Fantastic. There's also apparently a civil war brewing. I suspect that's fake. We will find out after that gets updated next. But that's going to be interesting to get updated. We could just simply bribe somebody, and that's probably the best way to go. It would be like this guy, who would be the problem. So I'm just going to bribe him. I don't think this is a real problem, but I'm just going to make that go away. It's fine. We don't actually care about it. Cool. So that looks wonderful. This is going to fall very shortly, and then we're just going to need to go take out this fort. There's no real problem here. So I want to check in on how we're doing on all of this road construction down over here, which I do remember that we're doing. And it looks like these guys are very nearly completed. Okay, right. We were working on just cleaning up some of this area out over this direction. Although I am noting that there's a little bit more that we should probably put in out this way. So we would do a connection here like this, and then that would connect in like that. Okay, that'll be fine. And these guys up here, what are they doing? Yeah, that siege is one. That's fine. That is looking good. Okay, nothing too much to be done there. We've won this siege here, so we're going to head on up. Looks wonderful. And of course, we've got our macro builder here that we can always utilize. Apparently, we won a battle. Fantastic. I didn't even know they were there. Wonderful. So we've got a bunch of building slots here, it looks like. Oh, we won another battle. Okay. Sure. That's excellent. I did not even realize they had an army left. But I mean, this just goes to show the fact that I forgot that this war even existed and everything about this war. This just goes to show how little of a threat this rebellion is to us, right? It's just completely irrelevant. Nothing actually matters. It's going to be over imminently. Completely and totally pointless. Granaries have been raided. We will pay to replace those stockpiles. We're definitely lower on our income, and that's good. We don't want to be capped forever. So we can go to, say, Arikonda here and start working our way through some of these. So this is going to be... Where are you? Out over here. Yes. So this is fine. We're going to put in definitely a tavern and then a Freeman district. Okay, next up would be La Ronda. Wonderful. So this is going to be a pair of forums. Wait a second. What is this setup? Why do we have forums in a research city? Why do we have taverns in a research city? Let's get rid of all of that, and let's put in some libraries. I'm also noticing that we're close to capped on our population cap, so I'm going to put in 2 aqueducts and then 2 additional libraries, like that. Okay, more evangelism in our lands. That's very rude. Okay, next up. Where are you? Right up over here. Looks good. So this would be a forum and a Freeman district. No problem. Then, of course, we've got Chios, which is right up over this way. Beautiful. A pair of Freeman districts will do fine. How are we doing on this siege? 35. Well, that'll be following any roll now. So that looks good. This rebellion is, of course, over, and there's absolutely nothing they can do. We got a bountiful harvest. We could get 7,000 gold, or we could get 3 stability, and we're taking the stability. Thank you very much. So that looks phenomenal. And does this fall here? No, sadly. Next up, though, is Astakos, which is out over this direction. Perfect. And what is this setup? Why do we have a random citizen district here? Obviously, this is intended to become a metropolis eventually, but I'm going to put in a pair of forums, and then we're going to put in a Freeman district. The aqueduct is fine. That's intended to bring this up to metropolis level, so that looks okay. No problem there, but wacky. Okay, next up is Kitera, which is down over this direction, and this would be a mill and a Freeman district. Excellent. We do need a new Rob Chagrier, and that is definitely a good thing to get. Scorned family. Okay, we'll put this guy in. Sounds good. Surely this siege is going to be done here, right? Yeah, it's over. Are these mercs? What are you even doing here? What was the point? Completely and utterly pointless. We're going to walk in over here and eliminate those mercs. Not that we need to. It's just fun. So that's good. And we're going to sue for peace now. We're going to take all of this territory. That's going to not be any aggressive expansion, of course, because it's our territory. And that is fine. We're going to lose half a point of AE. And I want these guys to be up here because we're going to need at least a little bit of roading here. Not much. Not much. But a little bit. Okay, so we're going to put them onto road build, and they're going to come down like that. That's basically all the road that we need. I think this is connected here, but I'm going to make absolutely certain of that. And then it looks to me like we could definitely use a road connection here. So that seems fine. Otherwise, we're probably fine for roads. So that looks okay. We do need a governor in Torca, and that would be here. There we go. Okay, wow. Right, we just took that territory. So Guianos, they're going to have created some problems here. They deleted every building that was in this location. Okay, foundry, mills, slave traders, taverns. That's fine. So this is a metropolis up over this direction, and I think having it be a fort is quasi-useful. Yeah, that seems fine. The building setup here seems less fine. This produces wine, and I'm going to get rid of the citizen districts. The aqueducts I'm going to get rid of as well, for the moment anyway. The noble districts, the ports, not necessary. The conscription camp, get out of here. Commercial district, academy, no. Library, no. I'm going to put in an earthworks, and this would be 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so that would be a level 6 fort, or rather a 6th fort level here. Fort infrastructure capacity. That's fine. And then we would put in a foundry, we'd put in some mills, we'd put in some slave traders, and some taverns. Something along the lines of that. Okay, now we've got this up over here. This is a settlement. That's fine. This is currently a fortress, and honestly, I think it's okay to remain a fortress. For the moment, that's wonderful. We can put in a farming settlement over here that got ripped out at some point, and a slave estate down here. What's in this location? This is a town commons? Okay, let's move that over. And in this city, what do we got going on? Well, this is still largely set up well. They didn't really change anything in this city, so that is good. I'm interested in putting in a grand theater here, and then we'll put in a pair of forums. Okay, so that looks fine. At this point, we can go to Klizma. So that is out over this direction. Right. So a tavern would go in here. Otherwise, we're doing pretty well, to be honest. So a tax office is fine. I mean, I was going to make the argument that we don't really need a grand theater, but it's still kind of useful there. So that seems okay. No problem. Next up would be Naucratis. Okay, so where are you at? Right up over here? Sure. Prosperity. We'll take some stability. Thank you very much. And what do we need here? Well, a pair of libraries would absolutely do the trick. Okay, next up would be Antigonea Bithynius again. We've done this location a lot of times, actually. It just keeps getting more building slots. That's not a problem. You know what? Sure, you can have some gold. We have so much gold, it does not matter. So Leprion is the next location with 2 building slots. That is down over this way. Okay, so a pair of tax offices is fine here. I'm wondering about some of these becoming metropolises. Yeah, they're going to be eligible to be metropolises, but they currently aren't. So we could definitely do something like that, right? And put in a mill in each of these locations. That would be a good thing. A mill here would be good too. Strange setup in those locations, but whatever. So next up would be Akko, which is out here. Excellent. So we do not need this commercial district here anymore. We're going to put in 3 libraries instead. And Jerusalem. Wow, okay. I didn't expect more building slots in Jerusalem. It's actually only one building slot in Jerusalem. Why was it saying two? I guess it updated. Okay. Well, that's absolutely fine. We're nowhere near our population capacity at this moment, so I'm just going to put in a library here. Next up would be Damascus, which is somewhere up over this way, right? It's spelled differently in this game. How is it spelled? Ah, with two M's. It's right up over here anyway. So we don't actually want that fort there. We do, however, want a pair of libraries, and that'll be fine. I'm assuming we're still capped here. Yeah, we absolutely are. Okay, so Bal-Hadad at this point, that's a very heretical name for us, but, you know, whatever. We'll leave it be. What's a little heresy among friends, as evidenced by the number of Christians we've killed for that? Yeah, my arguments are falling apart a little bit. So next up would be this location, and that is absolutely fine. We can put in a pair of tax offices here. That will be a good boost to our income because, you know, we need more money. Next would be Charmadara, which is right out over this direction. Cool. So a pair of Freeman districts looks good. Then we've got Akola, right down over this way. Beautiful. So this will absolutely be a pair of tax offices, boosting up our income yet again. There's a lot of these. So Shushan is the next location, right out over here. This would be a pair of forums, or not forums. That's a pair of taverns. Okay, very bold of them indeed. So more Christians are being Christian. I mean, that's gonna happen. We'll do stuff about it when we can. So I'm thinking about the forts in this location right now. I think that the fort here is completely useless. We absolutely get rid of that and we put in a logging camp. And the fort up here, also completely useless. We get rid of that and put in a logging camp as well. There's a fort up over this direction, which I don't think is completely useless, but it is behind this fort, which is a better fort. So I'm going to get rid of this one as well, and we're going to put in a slave estate there. And then we can make the argument that we could boost this fort up, but I kind of think this fort is useless too. So I'm going to get rid of that. We've got the two granaries here. And what is the city trying to do? It's kind of all over the place. So I'm going to get rid of this noble district. I'm going to get rid of the commercial district. And I'm thinking that the pop cap is fine. We'll leave that be for the moment. We'll put in some mills here. We'll put in some slave traders, a pair of taverns like this. And eventually we'll look to raise this pop cap to 80 to make that become a metropolis. But for the time being, something like that. Okay, next up would be Kalini. Where are you at? Right out over this way. Okay, so a pair of forums here is fine, and then a Freeman district. Then, of course, we've got Apollonia Meandrin, which is right out over this direction. Very, very close. I'm thinking right now, well, we're going to capture more territory here. I was thinking that we would change the capital here, but I don't think that's strictly necessary right now. I do think that a pair of forums here makes a lot of sense, followed by a Freeman district. So that'll be okay. And then we've got Naxos, which is, of course, right out of, it's literally right here. So that's fine. We don't even need to search it. So this is 80 out of 83. This could actually become a metropolis right now. And I'm going to get that going. That'll be fine. We'll put in a pair of tax offices in the meantime. Interesting that we can construct and upgrade at the same time. So Bathus Lehman is the next location, right out over here. A mill and a tavern. Beautiful. Okay, a Misos, which does not have an N in it, as it turns out. So we would put in a pair of tax offices here. No issue there. Next up, we would do Lindos. There's still a lot of these to do. I'm actually surprised by how many of these there are to do at this moment. Okay, I mean, this will give us something to do while our aggressive expansion goes down. So that's okay. Next up is Maris, which would be a pair of Freeman districts. Wife required. I'm sure he can figure that out himself. Okay, next up would be Ausada. That has an A here. Awasada. Uasada? Something along those lines. This fort is tremendously useless. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to put in a pair of Freeman districts. I think that we no longer need this Great Temple, and arguably we don't need the Grand Theater. It's still kind of useful, though. I'm going to put in a pair of tax offices. Okay, next up is, of course, Toulouse. Right over here. Cool. So this would be a forum and a Freeman district. Still working on building up those building slots. We do need a new governor in Greece. We have a scorned family, so I would like that to be... Wow, there's not very many people here. Okay. I don't think that there is a member of the scorned family that we can bring in here. There is no more scorned family. Okay, we're just going to put this guy in. We have Pop starving here. Okay, so that is all within this state. This is likely caused by our army here, is my theory. Well, the army isn't helping, but it's not directly caused by it. Okay, we absolutely should put a farmer's market in here. These are all settlements. Yeah. Okay, so we do have some food production here. Noted. That seems all completely fine. I'm not upset about any of that. I'm going to move these guys. They're going to stop drilling here, and we're going to have them head up to, like... We can't even have them in Alsara for the moment. We could move them up into this region up here, and let's do that. Let's move them to Aza for right now. So we're going to move them northward, and that will help matters in this situation. We're also exiting winter, so this should be going positive quite soon. How's our food here? 473. Okay. So as soon as this month tick happens, we should see this number update. 11.43. 9.35 of that is from units in province, and these guys will be exited by the end of this month. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. That seems reasonably fine for now. Next up is Raisin, which I don't think is pronounced that way, but here we are. And we're going to go with a pair of tax offices there. That looks good. Okay, next would be Serapeon, which is way out over this way. Okay, so we would definitely put in a Freeman district and then a tax office. Now, I want to be checking in out over here. It's May at this point, plus 11. That seems inauspicious. This guy's on Borderlands right now. I kind of want to switch this over to encourage trade to boost up that food by an additional 7%. 32.93, that's looking solid. Okay. So once these guys arrive up here, we're going to get them back to drilling, but for the moment, they can't do that. So let's go to Sana and see about getting that 2 building slots filled. We also just lost a guy up here. That's fine. We'll get to him in a moment. A conscription camp. Get out of here. We'll put in a mill and a pair of tax offices. Okay, Upper Egypt needs a governor. That'll be this fine gentleman. And these guys are still on their way in. So next would be Kerketherus, which is out this direction. Sure. So this would be a pair of Freeman districts. Cool. Okay, now I want these guys to be drilling here. It is currently July, and we can see 45.74 positive here. Okay, I'm just checking that each of these cities has a farmer's market in them, and they do. So now the question is, in the winter, are we going to run out of food, or is this stable? It's probably stable, is my current theory. So next up would be Nahar Yetta or Nineveh. Either of them would be fine, but we'll do this first since we're already partially in progress on that. Ah, there's a war against Dufar. What is a Dufar? It's a rebellion against Gera down here. Okay. These guys are both done with their road build. So I want these, for now, to move to here. I want these guys to go on to Force March. They're going to have a ways to go. They're going to have to force march all the way around, but there are roads. They should get there reasonably quickly. These guys are going to go here and start drilling. Are you guys busy? No, you are not. Okay. So for the moment, I would like them to come down like this way. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so all looks good there. So we're going to get these guys drilling. And eventually we'll make our way down here, but that is going to take a little bit. We are on force march. We will get there fairly swiftly. I would also like to take over Machi's here, and I wonder if we would be able to simply offer client status. So improve opinion would bring us up by 87.5. We need to have the client status be at, their opinion of us would have to be at least 100. Honestly, I think we're better off to just annex them. I'm going to fabricate on them. I'm sure that'll make them very, very happy. Okay, so we're going to get these guys in position here, and they are going to start drilling here. They may or may not cause a food issue. We'll find out. So that seems fine. As you can see, these guys are marching at considerable speed. So that looks great. And I do want to continue to work on some of these. So Ninva would be next. That is up over this direction. So we would put in a Freeman district here for sure. And then we would put in a tax office. I'm pretty content with the state of how that is converting over. Next would be Alwa. So that is down over here. This is, of course, very thoroughly converting. It's been under our control for a long time. So that looks wonderful. Tylos is next. We can see the end of these. Remarkable. Okay, so we would put in, not a granary. We would actually delete that granary, maybe. Yeah, we're full on food. So we would put in a pair of tax offices here, and actually a trio of tax offices. That'll be fine. Next would be Abyssinia. Right down over here. Beautiful. So this is looking pretty decent. This will eventually become a metropolis, but for right now, a pair of tax offices. Okay, next up would be Mundu. Sure, right down over this way. So a pair of tax, or actually a pair of libraries here. That'll be fine. Arascum is the next location. There's only a few of these left, so I want to get these completed. Pretenders in Armenia, noted. That'll be absolutely fine. Next would be Gash, and that is right out over this direction. Beautiful. So we don't need any more aqueducts here. What we do need is a pair of tax offices, so that'll be wonderful. This guy just died. Okay, it is February. We have some food issues. So we have Pops starving here in South Phoenicia. Okay, so I didn't necessarily expect that. We've got this fairly well handled, generally speaking. Okay, let's switch this guy over to encourage trade to boost our monthly food modifier by 10%. And we can cut this noble, or this cloth import, and import some grain. How negative are we? Minus 50? That's pretty significant, but it is February right now. I'm also going to cancel this incense, and we'll bring in some grain. So that'll boost up our food production a fair amount, and I think we'll be okay there. We do need a title assignment here. We'll make this guy. There we go. Okay, so that seems reasonably okay. Next up would be Semble, which is down this direction. Okay, we're negative on food here. I'm going to put in a farmer's market, and then we're going to put in a Freeman district. Now, we just arrived over here. Okay, yeah, that's pretty over. So we'll do Bala next. Right up over this direction. Wonderful. Okay, we need a pair of citizen districts there. No, we don't. Hang on, what am I doing? No library. We need 3 taverns. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. Rumela would be next. So that is up this direction. this would be a pair of academies. And actually, that's it. Beautiful. So there's all of that completed. That looks good. We've arrived down here. We no longer need to be on force march. I would like it if reinforcements and morale could regenerate here. But it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll get this under our control. This is going to go to us, not to Gera, obviously. And eventually, Gera will be annexed. Eventually. But we're going to be going back to war fairly soon. Our aggressive expansion is low. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Magar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.